Hello, everyone. I'm so pleased to be here and honored to share with you some words about early math, the importance of it and what it is, families' roles in early math, and how this leads us to storytelling math. We're going to talk a lot more about that today. So excited. So when I say early math, I'm thinking about math that happens before children even get to school, before they go to kindergarten. So 0 to 5. And it's important to specify that because for a lot of people in the general public, math is something you do at school. So when you think about early math, you're just thinking about elementary school. And we know that that's not the case. We know that children come into the world ready to learn mathematics and already thinking mathematically from birth. Much as children are prepared to learn spoken and signed language, they're also prepared to learn the language of mathematics. And as we know, to learn to speak or to sign, you need to be immersed in a really rich environment for learning language. You need to be spoken to and have conversations and be read to and sung to. In just the same way, to become fluent in mathematics, like we become fluent in language, we need to be immersed in what Liz called the sort of math milieu. And we can do that for children from birth. Why does it matter? Why do we care about early math? Well, as Liz alluded to in her remarks, early math, the foundational math that you know when you're in kindergarten or first grade, unlocks long-term school and life success. It's not just about math achievement, it's also about reading and science and getting into college, getting certain kinds of jobs. So it really, that foundational math has been linked. It's one of the strongest predictors of your success in school and in life. We know, though, that large numbers of children in our country have been systemically kept from the kinds of learning opportunities that allow them to become, enable them to become math fluent. They come to school with skills that vary from those of their richer and often whiter peers. And that is the result of inequities in our society, not at all about the skills that every child brings to math learning, the talents that every child brings to math learning. And if early math matters so much, we want to make sure that every child gets to the kindergarten door with the skills and the proficiency and the fluency that is their right. We think that families and communities play a critical role. If you think about math as happening before children even get to kindergarten, it's going to be really important to leverage the strengths of families and communities and their expertise to address early math gaps before they even occur, before they form. We know that family math talk and certain kinds of math activities contribute to positive learning and positive math attitudes for young children. And yet, families are largely an untapped resource in our efforts to achieve math fluency for every child. Families care more about young children's learning. And by families, I mean grandparents and parents and older siblings, aunts, uncles, community members, friends of the family. So it's not just parents. We know that there are so many untapped resources. And it's not surprising because if you think back to what I said at the beginning, if math is something that happens in school, people aren't necessarily thinking about doing it outside of school or doing it before a child even enrolls in kindergarten. Yet as soon as you tell families about the importance of early math, they are ready to go. They're like, tell me how to make this happen. They need some support. So they ask for resources, they ask for strategies. And that's why storytelling math is such an important part of the suite of investments that we've made at Heising-Simons in family and community math. Storytelling math builds on an existing family strength and habit around reading. Most families understand that reading to their child from birth is a really important way to help them achieve language fluency, but they might not know that about math. We also think that books are sort of an entry point into math and math conversations with children, especially for adults who might be considered math reluctant. A lot of us, unfortunately, are walking around with anxiety or even trauma about how we were taught math and how we learned it in school. So we think that these storytelling math books can open up worlds for those math reluctant adults at the same time that hopefully serve as some kind of a protective factor for children being raised today so that they never see themselves as math anxious, that they always see themselves as someone who is a powerful and capable math learner.